thing that comes to our mind is why? Why would God allow such a thing to take place? Why would God allow a tsunami or an earthquake where thousands would die? Let's personalize it. Why would God allow a person that we know to get cancer? Why would God allow a child to be born with a disability? Why would God allow a young man in the prime of his life to die in an automobile accident? A barnacle